Hello and welcome to another episode here on my channel. My name is ChaosMole and today I just want to talk a little bit about Outriders. Why is Outriders the new thing? Why are so many people playing this, well, pretty basic game, as a lot of people would say? And this will not change your mind. This is not a video where I try to win you over or anything, but I at least try to explain what Outriders does for me and for a lot of other people, and why they might even enjoy this game more than some other shooters in this genre. So let's jump right into it. What you're seeing here, by the way, in the background, it's just me playing some side missions. There's one main mission which there's nothing going on, like no main characters are revealing themselves, and there's literally just like a little convoy driving from A to B, but there's no real talk going on. So there are a few side missions here, and maybe you will see a little bit more of the main mission if we are getting to that point, depending on how long I will actually talk here. But yeah, you are not missing anything out, or you're not getting spoiled on anything. By the way, if you want to know like which kind of build I'm running here, there is a video on my channel. I can actually put that in the description where you can see my minigun build. But let's talk about Outriders. So why do people like this game? Here's the thing, I completely agree when people say like this game is pretty basic. Like it doesn't do anything crazy, it doesn't do anything new. And to be honest, it doesn't have to. Like for me, it was always a problem to find the right looter shooter. I know there are games like Destiny 2 out there, The Dvision, Warframe, Borderlands, and even some others. But here's the thing, I have tried them all, and the only looter shooter which really clicked with me, kinda, was The Dvision. Yeah, and some people might say, wait, that's the weakest of them all. Yeah, but a game like Destiny, like I tried, and Destiny just doesn't do it for me. I'm sorry, I know people enjoy Destiny too. They love it, the community is amazing, but gameplay-wise, I never could play it. It just doesn't work for me. And so I was always looking for a looter shooter who could be interesting, and this game is just clicking like with all my boxes. Like I love this sci-fi World War One mix they're trying to do here, or World War Two. It's mostly World War One because there's a lot of like trenches going on, which was very reminiscent of World War One and not so much of World War Two. But different topic. I really love the world design. Like it's muddy, it's dirty, it's a messy world. Like in comparison to Destiny 2, Destiny 2 is a very, very clean game. And I think I just like this a little bit more. Like I revel in the status that humanity is in here, and that is basically extinction, right? Like humanity is going out, and I find that more interesting. So yeah, word-wise, this game is definitely clicking with me more. And the same goes with the story. Like people are asking me, oh my god, Mole, how can you like the story of this game? It's so edgy, so corny, so like nothing special. There's no twists and turns. And it's like, yeah, I mean, there are like a few like moments where the game turns a bit, but they're mostly moments of, yeah, you could have expected that. Oh yeah, I saw that coming, right? Like there's nothing crazy, and believe me, I love games with a twist. Like I'm a huge fan of the Metal Gear Solid series, and oh boy, are there twists and turns in that game. Like basically Metal Gear Solid games are, haha, I betrayed you, yeah, but I betrayed you in truth. Well, glad that I saw that coming, because you triggered my trap card, and I betrayed you over my betrayal you betrayed. And you were like, what? What is going on? Like, I love the Metal Gear Solid games for that, but I also don't mind just to have those, yeah, kind of simple story games where you just expect a lot of things to happen, and I'm okay with that. Like, I couldn't really put it into like a movie thing, like, when people love to compare games with movies or just with other games. And I made the comparison over the weekend that I see the story in Outriders to be a Riddick movie. Like, Riddick 1 and partially Riddick 2. Like, it's a very corny, needlessly edgy movie with a lot of, like, dark, grim humor and just a lot of gore. And, it's okay. It's. You get what you see, and the same goes for the Riddick movies. It's basically just fun, even though the second movie tried to add a little bit more to it than the first one, but different topic again. But yeah, it's the same thing with Outriders. Like, yeah, the humor is dark, edgy, kind of corny, and I know that some people will just say, "Oh, that's cringe," but for me, it's the right amount of humor, dark, a little bit of gallows humor. Like everybody admits that humanity is fluffed pretty badly, and that they might even be on their last leg, and everyone goes with it a little bit, and that's cool. That's cool. I'm okay with it. But people would now say, okay, yeah, story, but what's with gameplay, man? Like, why are people liking this game? See, I said it at the beginning. This game is doing nothing special. But I think, besides of the technical issues they have, of course, I think it does everything right. The game doesn't try to limit you. The game doesn't set up arbitrary enemies who are like wielding this special power which is like super effective against you, or like they're not trying to limit you through certain gameplay aspects. They totally admit that you are basically the superhero in this game, and all the enemies also react in that way, that when they see you and you enter an arena, they're behaving very much like as if they're panicking, that they basically know that you're nearly unkillable and you have all those crazy superpowers, and they are just emptying their magazines to hopefully stop you, even though they know it's futile. Like, they're behaving that well. They are charging in, they're throwing everything at you because they know that, well, they will probably not make it. It's kind of grim when you think about it. But this game is not trying to put like any arbitrary enemies or weird like gameplay elements against you to stop you in your tracks. Like, the game is pretty much admitting that you are probably the strongest thing on the planet right now, and it's a power trip. I think they're actually doing that pretty well. The same goes, and for the gameplay, I think when a lot of people see this game the first time, they believe that it is a cover shooter. Like, it's a Gears of War game, right? Like the Dvision. You use the covers. You can play it that way. I would not recommend it, to be completely honest. Like, you see it here. This is one of the classes which is getting regarded as one of the cover-based shooter classes, where you were basically just sitting in the back and blasting the people's head off with a rifle or sniper rifle in that regard, and then using a little bit of your assault rifle to pick up like the last remnants of the enemies you just fought. And you see it in the background. I don't play that way. Absolutely not. I'm going in with my assault rifle. I'm switching actually later on to a shotgun. I put up my turret, which is freezing the enemy. And then when I think, okay, this is getting a little bit too much, using the rocket launcher, using my minigun to melt everyone, and I am up close. Like, I'm not standing back. And again, this is one of the classes which has always been seen as the, oh, you stand back and snipe the people. And which brings us to class development, really. I think one of the big things this game also has is every class, like you have 4 classes, and every class can play drastically different. Like I have so many people seen like, oh my god, you have to play this build. This is the most OP build in the game. Like they will probably nerf that super soon with the next patch. And then you see different people with the same class saying that their build is the most OP one and is probably getting nerfed with the big patch, so that you actually realize, oh, they are all pretty much OP. And that is intended by the developers. So, like, I think the depth you can really go with the class system here in the game, that you have only 3 abilities you can choose, but you have 7 in total, so you have to make already the decision, and then you can even modify those abilities by, well, at the beginning at least, a little bit later on it changes a bit, but technically you can modify your abilities with 5 mods, because you have 5 items you can wear, which you can change your ability mods. So, but you realize very quickly, yeah, but those 5 mod slots I have, they must be enough for all the 3 abilities. So you have to make the decision, which abilities do I want to upgrade? Which do I think are good enough without updates? Or do I want to update all 3 of them? Which is later on actually possible with epic or even like legendary equipment. So there is like a lot of character development. The same goes with the skill tree, because you also realize very quickly that I think you have only, 20 skills, 22, something like that. Max level is 30 in the game, and yeah, you don't get that many skills. So the skill tree looks, in comparison to maybe some other games like Path of Exile, small in comparison, but you don't have that many points to really go everywhere. So you actually have to make decisions, and those decisions can completely change your playstyle. And it's pretty fantastic. I love it. And another big thing are the items. It's a looter shooter. And I sometimes have the feeling that looter shooter have a little bit forgotten what those games are all about. And that's the loot. And this game is just throwing loot at you. Like sometimes, sure, a lot of green items, a lot of blue items where you're like, I don't really need them anymore. But you find enough like cool new items where you're really happy. And then I would even go so far to say that this game even has the problem that it's sometimes a bit too much. Like, there is a pretty early on a quest where you can get like an epic item, right? You can choose like your first epic item, which is an epic weapon. And then 30 minutes later, I kid you not, you might have already found a blue item which is replacing your epic item. You're like, wait, what? I just got this epic weapon 30 minutes ago. What is going on here? And it happens quite a bit, like to the point even where I would say maybe it's a bit too much. But I think this is the appeal of the game. And when people ask me like, what would I compare this to? I think it actually compares pretty well to Diablo 2. Like, this feeling of there's always items dropping from enemies. They might not be always fully useful, like you not might use them, but you can like take them apart because you need the parts, you need the mods from the items, so there's always a usage. And if everything fails, well, you sell them, because the vendors actually have good items you want. And you're like, man, this item costs what, 20,000? I have only 22,000. Oh, do I want this? Like, the game is actually asking a good amount of decisions from you, and items are a huge part. And I think a lot of looter shooters have sometimes forgotten that. Like, The Dvision is also another game which likes to give you items, but 90% of the time you feel like those items are wasted. And it's like, okay, so I have been just farming here for 2 hours, and maybe I got an epic out, but I don't really need that. It's like Outriders is just doing it right. And it feels always so rewarding. Like, even after a long fight, you will find at least 1 or 2 items. But between all the useless loot, which is just right. Just the thing you need, which makes you a little bit better. So, yeah, Outriders is just doing it right in that aspect. Same goes with like the amount of enemies. Like, there are a lot of different enemies. At the beginning it sometimes feels a bit like they've copy-pasted a lot of enemies, but especially later on, they're actually adding some cool modifications and interesting aspects to the enemy. And there are also some enemies which I loathe, like those butterfly thingies. Whoever designed them, by the way, whoever designed those butterfly enemies, who hurt you? Like, who hurt you when you were little? Like, you must really, really hate people. I understand that, but man, does that enemy suck. Like, that enemy is pretty annoying, but the rest is fun. And makes you really sometimes rethink your items, your skills, and mods you're using. And they just do that so well. That doesn't mean, of course, that this game doesn't have problems. Like, it has technical problems. I had huge issues with lags, right? And it isn't fixed. It's just I found a workaround for now, and that is playing on DirectX 11 instead of DirectX 12. But it's still like, come on, man. I didn't have that problem in the demo. And of course the server issues are a thing they're ironing out. But it is just a game where it feels rewarding to play, and you just have a little bit fun in like a Michael Bay movie. Like, it isn't anything special. It doesn't do anything you have never seen before, but it just does it right. And it's fun. And no, it's not a game for everyone. It's not there to win you over from Destiny or Warframe or anything. Like, it's a game in its own right, and enough people like it. There will be enough people who don't like this game at all and will not touch it, and that is completely legitimate in my opinion. But for somebody like me, who hasn't found a game like Destiny yet, it's actually fun. Will it be in 3 months? No, probably not. But here's the thing. It doesn't have to be. Like, People Can Fly said it. This game is a complete package. Like, there's everything in the game. The beginning to the end, there's endgame in it, and there's stuff for you to do. But when you are done, you are done. They don't make you log in every 2 days because you have to run your dailies, or you have to farm for 5 hours a week at least so that you can still keep ahead the curve or be able to play with your friends. Like, all that stuff. doesn't really matter. Like I always feel guilty in a lot of those live service games, which is a reason why I also stopped playing those games more and more, is if I'm not playing this game as a job, do it on a daily basis for sometimes 2 hours at least so that I can keep up, it's not something I want to do. Like you can just log in, even with your friends, shoot some enemies, have fun with it. Afterwards you log out and you're good. And you haven't really missed out anything. Like the game is rewarding you either way. And that is, I think, what a lot of people have been looking for as of recent. Not a live service game or anything like that. Just a game who is fun, where you can see the numbers go up, where you get better equipment, you have a cool world with some nice little ideas how they do character design and character development and all that. But that's it. And that's really what Outriders delivers. And that's fine. Like, that's what you get. And that's what a lot of people probably expected from the game. So I think it's all good. But I enjoy my time on Outriders. If you haven't played the game at all, check out the demo. It's available on all the platforms. And it's pretty beefy demo. It's not a beta. It's a demo. And you can also transfer all your stuff from the demo into the full game. I have to say that they don't give you crafting in the demo. That's definitely a thing which is missing a bit in my opinion, because the crafting really changes character development fundamentally. Not the game, just the character development. And they should have somehow put it into the demo. But I can see that they want to keep like some cool features for the full game, right? But like, check it out for yourself. I enjoy it, and I will play it till I definitely see the title screen, and then we'll play some endgame, and after a few weeks or months I will move on and maybe come back for a DLC or something. We'll see. But I enjoy it right now. And if you don't, that's cool. But let the other people enjoy their playtime. I mean, you will probably want the same thing for your games. With that said, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, even though it was a lengthy one, you can click on the like button. If you're new to the channel, you want to see more Outrider videos, I'm also doing Evil Genius 2 videos and other games here on the channel. I would appreciate if you consider to subscribe to the channel. And if you want to see me live stream, you can also do that from Monday to Friday, starting at 8 AM EST, which is 1 PM UK time and 2 PM Central European time. And that is at trovo.live/ChaosMole. You'll find also the link in the description. And with that said, thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Bye bye.